think probably the main reason that I got involved was to support members of my academic or my administrative team. It was brought up one time at one of our meetings, and I mentioned to them that if they were interested in joining, that I'd be happy to serve as a coach. And prior to that, I'd been asked to get involved a couple of times and kind of put it off, thinking like, I've gotten plenty of exercise on my own. There wasn't really a need for me to have a device that would track that. And so I wasn't going to do it. But as I said, once it was brought up at one of our administrative team meetings, I said that I would provide support as a coach if they were wanting to get involved. And so we had 5 members of that team that expressed interest. And so I did so as well. In addition, I bought one for my wife too. And so that was kind of a good reason to get involved in it, that she and I could track progress. So that was my initial reason for joining it. There really wasn't necessarily something health related that I felt like I needed to do. I didn't have any baseline data or anything like that. I didn't enter into this with the idea being that I needed to lose weight, because I didn't need to lose weight. I felt like I was getting exercise, adequate exercise. But what I've learned is that there are several things that have resulted from this. And as I indicated, I don't know that I'm healthier. I can guess that I am. I can assume that I am. I certainly feel better about myself, and that alone certainly has to help. I think that there comes with this, when you meet the goals on a weekly basis, I think there is a great sense of accomplishment. There's a sense of personal pride and some team pride as well. And, it was interesting as I was pondering the answers to these questions. One of the things that I thought about is that I'm not sure if there's greater motivation for me that comes from the team or from myself, because both are important anymore for me to achieve those goals. And I probably think more about it personally than I do from a team aspect. And, if there happens to be a day when I don't get to 100%, I'm kind of hard on myself and feeling like I didn't do enough to get to that level that day. And so that sense of that motivation that it's provided me has certainly resulted in some benefits, but I can't quantify those. And so I have to imagine that that's helped both personally and professionally to put me in a better place physically and emotionally.
In my personal health and fitness. But I also feel like I need to continually have sort of a reminder to continue keeping that as my focus. It's such an important part of what I do, but we all get busy and we all get stressed and we sometimes forget. And so I thought the Catch Life initiative would give me that extra little boost that I needed to make sure that I maintain that focus that's been so important to me. It has made a big difference in my life, both personally and professionally. As I have mentioned before, I'm very interested in my personal fitness and my health, and I think that's a very important aspect of everyone's life. So it wasn't a major change, but it did encourage me to focus on some things that I hadn't previously focused on. So for example, one of the things that we work on is getting enough sleep. I think that's a problem for most administrators. And I worked on that, but once I became aware of the goal in Catch Life, I paid a lot more attention to it. I still have work to do, but I'm getting more sleep than I used to, and I'm recognizing the importance of that. And I never used to pay much attention to that. I paid attention to physical activity, but not sleep. The other thing that was important to me on a personal level is that I have paid attention to training activities, but less attention to just being active throughout the day. And so by wearing the fitness monitor, I pay more attention to how long I'm sitting during the day. I try to stay active during the day, even if it's not a training day, if it's a rest day per se, I still try to stay active. And previous to that, I tended to be active on days that I was involved in specific training, but not on days that I was having a rest day for my training schedule. So that's helped me to be active on a more consistent basis. Professionally, it has also helped me, I think, to lead my administrative staff. I was fortunate enough to be a coach for a team this year, and my team is primarily made up of my administrative staff. And it has really helped me to share with them the importance of a work-life fit, a work-life balance, and to support them in their goals to lower their stress levels and maintain a better work-life fit and a better fitness level. And so it's given us a closer connection and focused on that really positive aspect of our own health. So it's helped professionally as well.
I chose to participate in the Catch Life program. It was a decision I just needed to make for both me and my family to try to get healthier. Working in administration and education can be very stressful, and it's hard to find time sometimes. And I decided that this was a program that I really thought would help me be healthier and take care of myself and do my job and be a better person. How has it helped me? Personally, it's helped me. I feel better. I have more energy. It's become part of my everyday activities. Instead of workouts being something separate, it's just become something I do. Professionally, it's become part of our culture. It's great, the team that we have here in our district. It's become a discussion at a lot of our administrative meetings. It's become part of our culture. We talk a lot about our data when when administrators have a bad week or miss a few goals. It's funny, they're apologizing to the other members of the team. We try to do our best to pick one another up, and we've all stated that it's become one of those things that we don't miss goals as often as we used to because we don't want to let the other members of the team down. So I think it's added an element of not necessarily competition, but just bringing us together. And again, it's kind of part of our culture. And I think that we're all healthier and having fun with it because of it.
When you ask why I've been involved with the Catch Life program, I'd have to say that I'm someone who is very much data-driven and makes decisions based on research and best practices. And so the Catch Life program has really given me the opportunity to apply that philosophy to my own health. The Watch provides the data, and school administrators of Iowa have very much provided a lot of the best practices and research and other support, so I can combine those. So now I can really consider how to improve my own health. And so the data has been great to really drive my decisions. I was a little appalled to see how little movement I was getting in every day when I first started. And now I am pleased to say that personally, I have gained significantly. I am moving a lot more every day. I walk about 2 miles. I've done yoga. I've done stretching. I've done some other types of just making sure that I'm moving more every day. And when you think about how it has helped me professionally, I really have to apply it to our administrative teamwork. And our administrative team each of the members have been on the team for about 7 years. So that's a long time for a team to be together. And so we've got a lot of system supports in place to help our students and support our staff in our school improvement work. But this was really something that we did together to help each other and ourselves. And because we're all a little competitive, it has been fun to see how we could not just meet the expectations, but exceed them. I would say that as a team, we probably struggle the most with getting enough sleep in every night, but we're also working on that. And obviously we're working to stay active every day, get our heart rate up, and make sure that we just keep doing the things that we need, that the research and best practices says that we should.
As school administrators, we're always looking for ways to create a better life fit balance, and that's always a challenge. We have busy schedules. We have lots of things that we're doing. We know really what we should do and what we should be doing, but we don't always do it. And so having kind of an organized process was great. I think the accountability factor is what I liked about it, creating teams actually could see your data, that they could actually keep you accountable for what you're doing, thinking about it from that perspective. So it was easy to choose in to Catch Life. And I would just say that for the most part, it's something that when you have other people that are talking to you about how things are going on a different level than just kind of strictly the job sense, but more of a personal level that actually pushes into, how are you doing with your family? How are you doing with your spouse? How are you doing with your children? Those other significant people in your life, that makes a big difference. And so Catch Life was an easy fit for me. It really has helped me in lots of different ways. Certainly being more physically fit is good. I'm, this is my 20th year as a school administrator. And so with being 20 years on the job, very different than when I was a teacher and a coach. And so Catch Life has made me move more, made me be more physically active. I'm kind of back to the same size and weight I was when I was a teacher and a coach, which over probably the course of 20 years, I probably had put on 20, 25 pounds more than I was back then. So losing some of that weight was a good benefit, but just having time to move more, thinking about how much I'm moving, because certainly the number of meetings I sit in and those types of things are a lot in any week. And so taking the time then to really dedicate that. But for personal, reasons, I just knew I had to be more lean and move more, and that's helped me a lot. The other side, I think, is just the relationship side, because it's made me more conscious of those relationships I have, and I think actually feel better about spending time doing that and knowing that that's an important aspect of what we do and are as administrators, both relationships in the district and our relationships at home. And so certainly to be mentally sound in doing some of the hard things that you have to do, you really look for making sure that you have the right relationships where you're supposed to. So that, I think, has been a big benefit. Our team in Pella, we actually have two teams and two groups of 7, and they've been very active. We've been in competition a little bit with each other, just a friendly banter, which has been fun. We've actually done a race together, which was a neat thing to kind of train and do as a group. And so we continue to look for ways to just build each other up. And I guess I just say that in the end, that's what this is all about, how you build relationships, how you build your own personal wellness, and just have a way to be accountable to other people for that.
Well, the year before attending the SAI conference, my family had dealt with adversity for about a year before that. Very difficult year for us. I was physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausted. Attended the SAI conference like I do every year and listened to them talk about the Catch Life program that they were offering. And I said, I need that. I want that. I need to find that balance between my professional responsibilities and my personal responsibilities, because I now know my family needs me more than what I had been giving. So again, the time was now. I knew I needed to do something. Life was precious, and I needed to take some action for myself, for my family, as well as all the people around me. I decided, at that point, I've been a good leader, but I need to be a leader of my own life. And so that's why I decided to jump right into the Catch Life program. One of the things that really stuck through me is what gets measured gets treasured. And I know that professionally in the educational world, we have to measure what's important to make sure it gets done. So what gets measured gets treasured. What gets measured gets done. And I just needed to apply that same concept into my personal life. How it has impacted me personally, I could probably go on for hours. I know when Rick Schubach talked about the SAI program, he talked about it being an epic journey. And the EPIC all stand for something. The E is for engagement, and I'll talk about how it's impacted me engagement-wise. P is the purpose. I is investment, and C is for connection. And it has truly been an epic journey for me. So with the engagement piece, it was about having the energy for your professional life as well as your personal life. And I just learned that I prioritize at work. I always have a to-do list, and I needed to prioritize with my family and my friends and my personal life in general. What was really important to me, and I needed to make sure I put that on my list to do, even though I didn't write down a list. But the number one thing on there was me. Take time for me, because the better person that I am, the happier and healthier that I am, better that it will be for people around me as well. Purpose, this was my big part, was my purpose because of health and happiness. With my health, I knew I needed to lose some weight. I knew I needed more exercise. So through this with my health, I've lost 40 pounds. I've lost over 20 inches. And one of the biggest factors that I know I would never have discovered without the SAI Catch Life program was my sleep. Definitely taking the time for exercise, which definitely makes me feel healthier and in turn happier as well. Happiness, I am a much happier person. I'm much more patient. I don't seem like I'm so stressed out at times. And when stressful situations come, it seems like I have more patience to handle those stressful situations. My family is happier because I'm happier. Investment, really needed to make sure that I took the investment in myself as well as others. And as educators, we are always investing and serving others. And very rarely do we really, for me anyway, took time for myself. And so I decided I need to put me at that priority list and take time to exercise, take time to read professional books, but as well as read books for enjoyment, because I love doing that. Just taking time for me to exercise on a daily basis as much as I can. And the connection between mind and body, as well as also includes the PLC part. The mind and body, that's something that I really found that connection to, probably for the first time in my life, knowing it's actually kind of like a cycle. So much of this journey, honestly, has been mentally changing your mindset that I'm not on a diet. I'm on a lifestyle change. Really found out that this is a mental journey. And you have to tell yourself that I have to make some lifestyle changes, and I'm not on a diet. I'm making changes that I think I can continue throughout life. So definitely just having that mental toughness and deciding that every day is a new day. If things don't go as well as I wanted one day, the next day is a new start. So don't ever give up. Having that mental mindset has helped with the body as well, because I'm going to go out and get that exercise. It may not happen every single day, but I'm going to make it a priority for me. As far as PLCs, we have a team. And in professional learning, communities are so important in having success in the school system, as well as it is in just our life journeys. Our coaches have been wonderful. Rick Schubach and John Stevens has been great support, formative assessments along the way, encouraging us along the way, giving us updates on how we're doing as well as how our team is doing. And the teammate, the whole scenario of having a team behind you. I'm not alone in this journey, and that is so reassuring. It also helps that accountability piece, because I know my team's going to be looking at my results at the end of the week, and we're striving to be awesome out there and to find that catch life fit, and we're doing it. So I truly feel that I have found my life fit, and each and every day I have to continue to strive to keep that as a priority, because time is precious and the time is now.